With the federal nose counting project, the 2020 Census, coming around again next year to determine how many pets and toilets we each have, I thought it might be an instructive exercise to explore our choices in responding as the good citizens I know we all want to be. First, however, a word from our founding fathers. This from Article 1, Section 2 of the United States Constitution, and I quote, "Representatives and direct taxes shall be apportioned among the several states, which may be included within this Union, according to their respective numbers. The actual enumeration shall be made within every subsequent term of 10 years in such manner as they shall by law direct." Unquote. I left the letter below taped to our front door back in 2010 so that the local census taker would be sure to see it. I hope you enjoy this small exercise in participatory citizenship. Dear Census Taker, you can count on us. Dear Census Taker, thank you for visiting our household pursuant to the 2010 federal census. We're sorry we weren't here when you walked slowly up to the front door while looking in your bag, hesitated, rang the bell 3 times, waited a few seconds, looked around, then rang it again, knocked a little, paused one more time, and then left a form for us inside the screen door. It was very nice of you to think of us. We genuinely love America and are pleased to participate in the federal nose count every 10 years. We look forward to being fully cooperative, within the limits of our lawful requirement to respond, of course. Now, no doubt we're not the first household of real Americans that you've heard this from, and do forgive us for reminding a public servant of his or her job description. However, just for the record, the lawful requirement to conduct the census is contained within the clearly stated provisions of Article 1, Section 2, Clause 3 of the United States Constitution, which you may have read. Actually, if you don't mind, may we ask you a question? Was reading this section of the Constitution a prerequisite of your employment? Okay, probably not. Forget it. No problem. We were just curious. Anyway, since the above referenced section of the Constitution has never been repealed or amended, and since it wasn't written in disappearing ink, it seems to us only logical that it must still be in full force and effect today. Wouldn't you agree? We're sorry, that was our second question. Please don't feel that we're trying to investigate you. Anyway, it's clear from actually reading the Constitution that it requires the taking of a nose count every 10 years for purposes of determining the apportionment of direct taxes to and representatives from the several states of the Union. Uncle Sam hasn't imposed a direct tax on the states in over 150 years, since it would cause way too much alarm among the general public. As for apportionment of representatives, none of us today seem to feel particularly well represented, but that's a jackass of an entirely different color. Just curious, but do you get overtime pay for counting the same people twice? We only ask since so many dead people seem to vote in each presidential election that, well, we thought this might be some new federal trend. Okay, here is our official response to the census. This American household is pleased to answer that 5 citizens of the state of New Hampshire reside here. 2 are of voting age and 3 are not. With regard to our names, occupations, racial composition, height, weight, allergies, favorite TV shows and movies, income, social security numbers, blood type, relationship to each other, employment history, organizational affiliations, pharmaceutical prescriptions, political voting registration, number of pets, plants, toilets, bedrooms, cars, TVs, and other purely private matters. Okay, we made some of that up. You're welcome to ask these questions if you like, since we would never wish to impede you in the performance of your duties. However, there's no language we can find, not just within the above-referenced section of the Constitution, but anywhere within that remarkable document that authorizes a full-spectrum, all-inclusive, mass data mining investigation into every aspect of one's purely personal and private affairs. Nor can we locate any language that requires us, or any other American for that matter, to volunteer such information, as obviously there could not be, without conflicting severely with Amendments 4, 5, and 9, not to mention Amendment 1, which protects personally held religious views, such as objections to enumeration, the mark of the beast, which is particularly big with practicing Christians. Therefore, our only possible answer to questions of a purely personal and private nature is, thanks for asking. With regard to penalties which may be imposed under Title 13 of United States Code at Section 22, Paragraph A for refusing to answer, or Paragraph B for neglecting to answer, there's a big difference between refusing neglecting, and just not required. We are neither refusing nor neglecting to answer in the least, nor are we declining to answer. We just did. Once again, our lawfully required answer is that 5 people reside here, of whom 2 are adults. Our cat doesn't count. He just thinks he does. Additionally, with regard to penalties which may be imposed under 13 U.S.C. Section 221, paragraph C, for providing false answers, our answer is definitely true. We took our own nose count, and 5 people really do reside here. We swear to that. You should see the food bills. Of course, no statute enacted by Congress can usurp, override, contradict, or otherwise violate the Constitution, which declares itself to be the supreme law under Article 6, Clause 2. But we thought we'd mention the statutory angle just in case it came up back at the office. We have no doubt that your supervisors are real Americans too, and we do not wish to harm the rights of free men and women any more than you do. After all, this is New Hampshire, not New Jersey. In closing, thank you once again for stopping by, and do be sure to come back 10 years from now if the government is still in operation. We'd be pleased to participate again. You can count on us.